Week 16 of the NFL season, this is the very best slate of games we've had all year long, previewing the 5 best right now on Uffsides. Let's get right into it. Early game to watch on Sunday, the Colts at Chiefs, 9-5 Indianapolis at 11-3 Kansas City. Alex Smith and Jamal Charles coming off their best game of the season. Smith went 17 of 20, 5 touchdown passes, 4 of those to Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles making a case to be the league's MVP. He had 5 touchdowns last week. He now leads the Chiefs in receptions, receiving touchdowns, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns.
Receiving yards?
Receiving yards?
Yeah.
As well?
Yep.
A's in a first name.
A's in a first name. On the other side of the field, Trent Richardson. Well, he actually had himself a game against Houston, 100 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. His first useful game as a Colt. Does Andrew Luck still lead the Colts in rushing?
Brown is 427, Richardson is 390, Luck is 365.
Andrew Luck can still win the Colts rushing title. And of course, in the battle of former quarterbacks of Jim Harbaugh, Andrew Luck has kind of come to life the last 2 weeks. He's made Levon Brazil, Derek Rogers, and Griff Whalen appear to be actual people. Griff Whalen is definitely in a vampire show on the CW. SB Nation's editorial team likes KC all the way to win outright. The line, however, is 6.5. Do you like the Chiefs by a touchdown?
This is the toughest game to call of the week, but yeah, I think I like him laying 6.5.
I am going to go with a big ol' shrug and say Colts on the points. The game of the week is Saints at Panthers. Both teams 10-4. Whoever wins this game is gonna win the NFC South. Almost certainly. The loser is probably going to fall to the 6th seed in the NFC behind the 49ers, who've got the 5 seed all but wrapped up. The Saints, of course, are a bad team on the road. All 4 of their losses are on the road this year, and that includes the no-show in Seattle on Monday night. That includes a loss at the Jets. They lost to the Jets. And, of course, last week losing in St. Louis. Garrett Hartley shanked a 26-yard field goal. That's not easy to do at the professional level. Kickers are like horses. Like once they lose that mentality, you just got to put them down. Blam! And that's really what it comes down to. Can the Saints overcome their Rocky Road performance? Their Rocky Road performance in order to bounce back and win the NFC South in Sean Payton's return to the Saints? Gonna be exciting. I say no. What do you say?
I think I like Carolina here, laying the points.
SB Nation's editorial team favors almost completely the Carolina to win this game with a line of 3. I would love to see a shootout. I would love to see something fun, but I'm going to go with the Panthers here. Sunday afternoon, big NFC West showdown. 9-5 Arizona travels to 12-2 Seattle. I'm a Seahawks fan, of course. I like the Seahawks in this game. For the Cardinals, it is a story of being banged up. They already lost a bunch of talent on their offensive line early in the season. Larry Fitzgerald coming off concussion. Carson Palmer, what's Carson Palmer's problem?
He has a sprained ankle.
Questionable with a case of old. Yeah. Let's say some nice things about the Cardinals on offense, though. Rashard Mendenhall's looked pretty good recently.
Andre Ellington, as usual, has been explosive. Michael Floyd, his last 24 catches, all going for first downs.
Wow.
That is a great stat, Alex. Thanks.
That's such a dad stat. It's like at halftime they should have a Seahawk an actual Seahawk battle of Cardinal.
That Cardinal will get thrashed. Thrashed the same way that the Cardinals were on their last trip to Seattle, a 58-0 shutout. Oh, that was fun to watch last year. That was like seeing somebody jump up and down on top of a corpse. Look, I can get more blood to spurt out the eyes.
Here's the question, though. A Seattle win clinches a playoff spot for the Niners. Is Grandpa Pete spiteful enough towards Jim Harbaugh to lay down on purpose to try and hurt the Niners' chances? We'll see.
I'll tell you what, that'd be some grade A hating. All right, SB Nation's editorial team likes Seattle outright in this game. I, of course, like them to win. The line is pretty big, 10 points, 10.5. You gonna take the Cards?
I like the Seahawks to win outright, but with 10.5 points, I like the points.
Even though I like the Seahawks at home, I'm going to tamp down the homerism a little bit. I'll take the Cardinals on those points. Late afternoon on Sunday, the Patriots travel to Baltimore, 10-4 New England at 8-6 Baltimore. Justin Tucker, 6 field goals, including a 61-yarder, and that's what passed for entertainment during that game. That and Megatron drops. This is, of course, a rematch of the last 2 AFC Championship games because the AFC is dog shit. The story with the Patriots, though, is that everybody's injured.
Got Aaron Dobson, Kenbrell Tompkins, there's Gronkowski, obviously. It's just a mess all over.
How does that team 10-4?
Brady, I guess, maybe has some MVP validation.
Tom Brady. Touchdown Tom.
Yeah.
Don't ever count out touchdown Tom. Until he throws an interception that ends the game on 4th down. Dennis Pitt is back for the Ravens. Torrey Smith is their first 1,000-yard receiver since Derek Mason. R.I.P. He passed away 20 years ago. The only position for New England that is healthy is running back, where it is just a rotating cast of who hasn't fumbled recently. Shane Vereen is on pace to have 50 receptions this year despite missing 8 or 10 games. And only 3 egregious drops on wheel routes where he was wide open. Vereen! SB Nation's editorial team is split on this one with a slight lean towards the Patriots winning outright, even though Baltimore's favored by 2.5. They're 6-1 at home. And I've picked the Patriots to win, even though I can't justify it in any way, shape, or form.
I like the Ravens.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the smart choice. I'm not good at making the smart choice.
I mean, it's not touchdown Joe.
No, it is not.
Touchdown Tom.
Jerk off, Joe. Sunday Night Football is a fun one. Bears at Eagles, both teams holding on to playoff hopes. Neither team with any defense what to speak of. Great offenses. If you like points, if you like fantasy football, this is going to be a fun game. On that lack of defense note, Mark Trestman, the Bears coach, is optimistic that Lance Briggs can return after missing the last 7 games, during which the Bears have given up how many rushing yards?
Over 1,300.
All of them.
Bears the worst rushing defense in the entire league, desperately need Briggs back in the game. As for the Eagles defense, they just gave up 48 points to Matt Castle and Matt Asiago? How is that even possible?
Sometimes you just go in there and you have a game plan and it doesn't pay off. So, halftime you adjust, but so do they.
Totally. LaShawn McCoy leads the NFL in rushing, going up against the worst rushing defense. That's a fun one. Whereas the Eagles give up the most fantasy points to wide receivers, and they're going up against Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, who have 2,450 receiving yards between them. Pretty good. SB Nation's editorial team favors the Eagles to win outright just a little bit. A couple Chicago picks in there. I like the Eagles to win outright, and I like the Eagles by 3 too. The spread's 3. What do you say?
I like the Bears with a field goal.
Really?
Yeah.
Saucy. Those are the Uffsides top 5 games of the week. Really good slate of games. Please enjoy them. We'll be back next week with an awesome playoff preview. Gonna be fun. Yay!